Okay, so today's objective is not to do a lot of work, but just to have a discussion with you of what our plan for the strategic level case study for May 2026 is all about, right? In our course, there are 10 steps involved. There are 10 steps involved. First one is what we call KYP. Second one is what we call KYI. KYP stand for Know Your Pre-Seed. KYI stand for Know Your Industry. That is for you to be familiar with the pre-seed. So there is a pre-seed that is given by SEMA. These are 27-page document given by SEMA. You got to learn about it, but it's a fairly boring document. Therefore, what we do is we will give you a document called KYP, Know Your Pre-Seed. Right? These are 27-page long document. We'll give you a document called KYP. KYI is about the industry. So that's the first two steps that we are going to do. Now, this time, when I look at the pre-seed, I could not stop laughing about it because we are a company who is manufacturing machines for the 3D printing, right? We are manufacturing 3D printing machines. So we are not selling 3D printing machines to individuals. We are selling 3D printing machines to corporates. A company who would like to print something using a 3D printer, we are manufacturing a machine and giving it to him. So we are a manufacturer of 3D printing machines. Now, why I was so happy to see the pre-seed was, I have been working for last 20 years in two different industries. Both the industry were heavily using the 3D printing. So I have been using 3D printing heavily for last 20 years in two different industries. So it's a very common day-to-day industry for me, even though it might not be common for some others. I have been using it for last kind of 20 years. And don't forget, 3D printing is not very new, right? Our first interaction of the 3D printing was in the apparel industry years ago. I think what happened was one of our colleagues did manufacture the first 3D printed wedding dress. One of our well-known guys who will come for the class surely and give you an update about what happened to him. So this is the first 3D printed. These are not new. This is 2016. These 10 years ago. This is the first 3D printed wedding dress in Sri Lanka. So we will get the gentleman behind this to come to the class, who is Nisanga Varnapura, who did this first initiative years ago. So what I'm trying to say is 3D printing is not very new, even for the Sri Lankan context. Apparel industry, we have been using the 3D printing heavily in Sri Lanka and globally. So 3D printing is you are trying to print a product rather than manufacture a product. You will just print a product rather than manufacture a product. So as an example, in the porcelain industry, the companies like Dankodo Porcelain, I want to do a top urgent sample. For me to do a top urgent sample, if I go through the entire process, it will take time. Easiest is to use a 3D printing machine and print a plate. So by using a 3D printing machine, we can just print a plate. We don't use it for the bulk manufacturing. Now, usually 3D printing is not used for the mass manufacturing. 3D printing is used for the items that cannot be easily manufactured faster from a traditional technology, 3D printing is a superb example. So in our industry, Dangote Posile, we manufacture a sample from the 3D printing to get the customer approved. It makes the process much, much faster. Amazing speed. You print a plate. You're printing a plate. You're printing a plate. The beauty is we go into the CAD, we give the design of the plate. We give the design of the plate. So our plate can be very unique. In our plate, there might be area coming up like this. There might be area going down like this. Very unique design. It will be very difficult to manufacture in the traditional machines. Very unique design. We go and give it to the CAD machine, approve it, save it. The 3D printer will get connected to the CAD machine. The exact plate that you want, which actually doesn't look like a normal plate, will get printed. So sometimes you need various 3D printing is a solution for the customization. 3D printing is a solution for the customization. Now, just to get a very basic idea about 3D printing, very basic idea about 3D printing, not a detailed idea, very basic idea about 3D printing.
Actually works, and how 3D printing actually works. As its popularity surges, this technology is transforming how we create things. 3D printing, also known as additive manufacturing, is a process where objects are created layer by layer from digital designs. Unlike traditional manufacturing methods that cut or mold materials, 3D printing builds objects by adding material, making it ideal for creating complex shapes and reducing waste. The process begins with designing a 3D model using CAD software. The model is then sliced into thin layers, and the printer reads these instructions. Materials like plastic, metal, or resin are deposited one layer at a time to form the final object. 3D printing has wide applications across industries: prototyping, automotive, aerospace, reconstructive surgeries, medical implants, and even data processing. While still too slow for mass production, its potential is huge, with its market set to reach 100.
So I hope you realize some of the critical words. It is called layer by layer manufacturing. You manufacture that, you put the first layer, then one more layer, it goes up. It is called additive manufacturing. Layer by layer you manufacture. So the plates are manufactured like that. Plates are manufactured like that. But if you want some crazy examples, not about plates, right? If you want some crazy examples, the fashion industry. Look at this lady. She's selling the 3D printed clothing. Of course, in 2016, first 3D printed wedding dress was manufactured in Sri Lanka by Nanaska. Nanaska will come to the class and we'll talk about the 3D printing experience of his, how he did it, and what is happening in the market about the 3D printing. But look at this. These clothes are 3D printed. These clothes are 3D printed. Danny, the founder of the innovative 3D printed fashion lab, is committed to revolutionizing the fashion industry through innovation, technology, and sustainability. Her mission is multifaceted, aiming to redefine traditional garment production method. She's trying to redefine the traditional garment production method, promote accessibility in fashion, and inspire creativity in the design. At the heart of their operation is dedication to leveraging 3D printing technology to create a customized on-demand clothing that is wearable, environmental friendly. Right? So basically you can get exact clothes that you need 3D printed. You don't need to go to a garment factory, give an order where they will cut fabric, they will stitch. None of them are needed. The machine will 3D print the cloth that you need. 3D printing is entirely about the customization. In the world, still, 3D printing is not used in the mass manufacturing a lot. It is only for small quantities. Now, Toyota, right? Toyota. If you want to get a spare part urgently, you don't need to wait for the spare part to come from the factory in Japan. Singapore, they have an office with a 3D printer. They will print the part and give it to you. BMW is using it heavily. BMW is using it heavily. Toyota is using it heavily. So you can get certain car spare parts printed. You can get a certain car spare parts printed. So 3D printing is very, very common. For last 20 years, I've been getting involved with the 3D printing processes very, very closely. It's a topic close to my heart. I can give you 1,000 examples of the 3D printing, and I can give you 1,000 examples of what happened to 3D printing manufacturers. Now, don't forget, our case study is not about 3D printing. Our case study is not about 3D printing. Our case study is about a company who is manufacturing 3D printing machines. I have been involved with a lot of 3D printing machine manufacturers for us to buy the 3D printing machines. I will share with you some of the videos when we start the course on Saturday, I guess, right? About some of those manufacturers. Those manufacturers will come online to our class. They will show their factory, not how the products are 3D printed, but how the 3D printing machines are manufactured, because our case study is about manufacturing 3D printing machines, not doing the 3D printing, right? So this is an industry that is close to my heart. I've been getting involved quite seriously. I've seen the advantages, disadvantages of it. So that is the pre-scene available for this time. So those are the two things we will do first. KYP, know your pre-scene. KYI, know your industry. Now, when you go to KYI, which is the know your industry, then of course you can talk about a little bit more about the industry surely. This is, I think this is GE Aerospace. GE Aerospace is the company who is manufacturing many 3D printed parts for the aircraft. Many 3D printed parts for the aircraft are manufactured by them. This is a GE, same GE, but they have an aerospace arm of the GE. They're the aerospace arm of the GE. So they do manufacture a lot of items, 3D printed items for the aircraft. So this is not only for the cars. So we will certainly look at GE Aerospace, because you will be able to learn a lot by looking at that. And if you want, I don't know whether you have heard, I am sure you have heard of this company because of what has been happening in the world now. You have heard of surely Israel, at least because of the war, right? Have you heard of this university? This is the capital city of Israel. Tel Aviv University is in the capital city of Israel. Tel Aviv University is in the capital city of Israel. Now, this university is, Israel is absolutely famous for new innovation. Israel is absolutely famous for the new innovations. So this university in Israel, in the capital city, Tel Aviv, they have come up with, they have printed the human heart and the valve system for that human heart. They have printed the human heart and the valve system for the human heart. So you can imagine where the real 3D printing industry is. You can imagine where the real 3D printing industry, even though you think it's it's unknown, it is not. It is absolutely not. It's very, very common. It's very, very common. So if you want some examples, this house is 3D printed. Icon is a US-based construction company. I can show you the video if you want, but maybe not today, right? Today is to get some idea about what you're going to do. Icon is a construction company. So they use the cement, but machine is not a very small machine, large machine. They will print the house. They will print the house. They are printing a human heart, prototype human heart they have done. Tel Aviv University have done the printing the prototype heart. And this house is a 3D printed house. Right? This house is a 3D printed house. So my dear friends, 3D printing is very, very easy. 3D printing is not complicated. 3D printing is not complicated. Gayatri, it is the same Gayatri from the last year MCS. It is the same Gayatri from the last year. Oh my gosh, you are here as well. Enjoy, we'll have a little fun as we go. Okay. So 3D printing is not a magical industry. 3D printing is a very simple, straightforward industry. I've been involved with the 3D printing industry for last 20 years. So you don't worry about the industry at all. Don't worry about the industry at all. It will be just fun for you. And I will get the people who had actually manufactured 3D printing machines. I'll get Nisanga to come who designed, who did the first 3D printed wedding dress in Sri Lanka. Of course, there are other things that you can 3D print. I don't know whether you would like to see them. Would you like to see this 3D printing chocolates? I don't know whether you would like to see the 3D printing chocolates. Right? So you can be at home whenever you want. You print a chocolate and eat. You can print a chocolate and eat. So industry is growing at a crazy rate where you will really see there is lot to learn from the industry. And
Man came up with a genius business idea that went viral overnight. Instead of selling regular chocolate like everyone else, he created a concept no one had seen before. His secret, a 3D chocolate printer. It melts normal chocolate and prints custom designs in just a few minutes. Customers simply choose a shape, watch it being printed, and get their personalized chocolate for around $5. This man came up with a genius business idea that went viral overnight. Instead of selling regular chocolate like everyone else, he created a concept no one had seen before. His secret, a 3D chocolate printer. It melts normal chocolate and prints custom designs in just a few minutes. Customers simply choose a shape, watch it being printed, and get their personalized chocolate for around $5. This man came up with a genius.
Right? So I'm sure we'll have enough time to talk about the 3D printing industry. I'm not going to talk about lot about the 3D printing industry now. However, we'll have enough and more time to talk about the 3D printing industry as we go on. Look at what does this look like? What does this look like? 3D printing in the healthcare. 3D printing in the healthcare. Right? Okay. So that is what the industry is all about. So you can be rest assured because I've been working with the 3D printers in various different industries. Both 3D printers looked at the manufacturers, so that part we can surely take care of. KYP, KYI are the first two steps. Third step is deep dive, that is an in-depth analysis into the pre-seed. In the KYP, we don't challenge what is given by SEMA. We just try to tell you what is in the pre-seed. In the deep dive, we genuinely ask, could this be true? Is it very similar to what is happening in the industry? Is it very different? That is what the deep dive means. KYP, KYI, deep dive. Number 4 is ground rules. Things you should be doing on the exam day, things you should not be doing on the exam day. Number 5 is the 5 core activities for the exam. SEMA had given 5 broad ideas where the questions can be formed, and we will look at those 5 and look at what kind of questions comes. Number 6 is for the people who can't remember E3, P3, F3. Because we have a lot of people coming from the FLP. The FLP team is directly coming in without recently going through the E3, P3, F3 knowledge. Therefore, we will cover entire E3, entire P3, entire F3 in the class. We are not assuming that you have the knowledge. Of course, some people did E3, P3, F3 recently, but they can't remember anything. So I don't think there's a big difference between FLP and non-FLP. We assume that you don't have any knowledge on the theory areas. That is why step number 6 is there, refresh theory. Step number 7 is practice. That is the mock number 1. That is the mock number 1. Step number 8 is reality, where we will give you 7 mocks in total. Mock number 1 is the first one. There are 6 mocks in addition to the first one for you to practice in our exam engine. This time we are trying to take an unimaginable challenge, which will not be very easy. This time we are trying to take an unimaginable challenge, which is not very easy. I actually don't know whether you are prepared for it. Unimaginable challenge that we are going to take up this time is how do we achieve 99 pass rate for May 2026 SCS case study? That means almost everyone to pass. Always there might be one student who will struggle. But how do we go for 99% pass rate? So we have been thinking about it absolutely seriously. Therefore, we will be starting the mock number 1 on the very second day. First day, I'll explain the pre-C. I'll get the industry people to coming on the second day, but I'll do the explanation on the first day. Second day of the class, we'll introduce you to the pre-C. Once you do the mock number 1, second day of the class, I'll introduce you to the mock number 1. Right? Second day of the class, I'll introduce you to the mock number 1. Once you do mock number 1, you can do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the exam engine. After you do mock number 2, 3, and 4, most likely mock number 2 and 3 or 2, 3, 4, we are trying to give you complete personalized help for all of you. Some people might be earning very high marks. How do you take them into 90%? Some people are in the 50, 60%. How do we take them up to 70, 80? Some people might be much lower than the pass mark. What I realize is when I try to do a common class, we don't give enough attention for that category, which is very unfair. Our job is to ensure they pass. Those who are doing well, our job is to ensure they get a very high mark on the exam day. Now, if you look at SCS results are not yet out, SCS results are not yet out, but MCS results, we have someone who got 112. 112 is a fairly high mark. So how do we build people who actually get a very high mark? And how do we help the people at the one level down? So we did not do that for the MCS last time. We are doing it for the MCS and SCS both. For May 2026, we are trying to do it. We'll separate everyone and give the individual attention needed. That is why day before yesterday, but yesterday was a holiday, so today technically was my last day as the CEO of Danko Posile. I resigned from my position as a CEO. I will continue to be on the board. I'll continue to be an executive director. But why I resign is I want to allocate more time for the case study teaching. I want to allocate more time for the Nanaska. So trust me, we'll have enough time to help you individually. Section number 5 is refresh theory, 6 is practice, 7 is reality, where you do 6 mocks on our exam engine. I am sure you heard of Nanaska Edge. Which is, in my mind, extremely a great tool, because you do a mock paper, you get the results in 4 minutes. Anyone who is here who did MCS with me last time? I know Gayatri is there. Oh my gosh. Anyone other than Gayatri who is here who did MCS with me last time? Shyam, I know, I remember his name. Only two of you all. Okay. How the Nanaska Edge, was it very useful? How was the Nanaska Edge? Was it very useful? Useful or not useful? How was Nanaska Edge for you all for the MCS? Yes. Absolutely. How was Nanaska Edge for you all? Because how was Nanaska Edge for you all? That was very useful. Of course, fantastic. Yes, exactly the best. So now we have improved Nanaska Edge for the SCS. We have improved some features that were never there for the MCS Feb 2026. Amazing features will be there for SCS May 2026. So since you have the Nanaska Edge, I got through because of Nanaska Edge. That's a nice comment. I got through because of Nanaska Edge. Must be because you are busy, you don't have time. Otherwise, you do a mock paper and wait 2 days to get the results. Now you get the results in 4 minutes. And Nanaska Edge will give you an absolute personalized improvement plan. And if you can follow that improvement plan, you will exactly see where you are going right, where you are going wrong. I don't think there's anything else available on the planet to match Nanaska Edge. Of course, there are enough free ChatGPT versions available outside, which I also used just now. But this is Nanaska's proprietary software. We design it, we develop it. We took 8 months to design and develop it for a purpose. Without using the freely available ChatGPT versions, we have developed our own Nanaska Edge. So since Nanaska Edge is there, you get absolutely a personalized feedback. So that is number 8. Number 6, refresh theory. 7, practice. 8, reality. 9 is the other learning support. Other learning support is possible issues. Other learning support is F3 mock. Everyone says F3 is the most difficult, so we give you a separate mock paper. Other learning support means possible issues. 10th one, the last one, is about one-to-one support and the revision. So this time one-to-one support there'll be enough one-to-one support, unlimited one-to-one support that is available, especially for the people who are working. I mean, if there are any executives with the 5 years or more experience here, you will get more one-to-one support this time. So a lot of work is planned, and these are the 10 steps that we are going to follow. We are very serious. The reason why I want to resign from the Dankoto CEO position is to allocate time for the Nanaska, where I will allocate more time for the case study. I need your full support as well. I need your absolute support. I can't make you pass. You got to feel that you got to pass. So there is a commitment that is needed, maybe about 45 minutes a day, every day. And the weekend, we want little bit more time from you. We need little bit more time from you. So this time sessions are very clearly marked, right? Day 1, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. We have a very clear timetable. Every session, I'll show you the timetable. So every day before I start the class, I'll show you the timetable. I'll say, this is what we are going to do, unlike last time. This is what we are going to do, and we'll mark whether we have done it or not. And we'll mark every day what your homework is. You got to do that homework during the week. You can't suddenly realize that there is an exam called strategic level case study in the 2nd week of May. That is not allowed. That cannot be done. That will not be helpful, my dear. That will not be helpful. I want your full support so we can ensure you guys pass the exam. Now, don't think, SCS is another case study. I have done MCS, therefore I'll do SCS. Both are case study, both are CS, only M and S are different. No, you might think only M and S are different, both are case studies. No. Management level case study is about how do you implement the decision taken by the board. Management level case study is about the problems that is available, issues that is available when you try to implement a decision. Strategic level case study about taking those decisions. Strategic level case study is about taking the decisions that management level student will go and implement. Strategic level case study is about critical thinking. Strategic level case study is about taking decisions in uncertain times, taking decisions without having the full information. Strategic level case study is about making judgmental calls. Management level case study is not so. Strategic level case study is about making judgmental calls. Strategic level case study is about critical thinking. Strategic level case study about taking decisions without having the full information. That is what the real world is all about. That is what the real world is all about. Welcome to the real world with the strategic level case study. You got to make a lot of decisions without having the full information. You got to make a lot of judgmental calls because you're not sure. No one is sure. No one is sure. So now at Litrogas, that's a government-owned gas company. Litrogas, that's a government-owned gas company. I'm the chairman of Litrogas. I have about 50,000 metric ton of gas parked in Maldives in a storage. So we have enough gas for the entire April. Now we are going to bring the gas for May. You got to make a judgmental call. Should I order a lot more, or should I order much higher than what we usually bring? Or should I order little higher than what we usually bring? Surely we need to bring more gas. We have enough gas because we are getting gas from USA. We are not getting gas from Middle East. We are getting, from this year, we are getting gas from USA, so we are safe. But should I order a lot more? Should I order a little more? For me to answer that question, I need to know when the war will be over. I mean, I can't call Donald Trump and ask, tell me when the war is over because I need to order gas, because he will not tell me and he won't know by himself. Uncertain times, what decisions you will take. That is what strategic level case study is all about. I think strategic level case study can be taught by someone who had been working as a CEO for at least 5 years. So my CEO experience, my experience as a chairman, where we'll have to take a lot of judgmental call, where we'll have to do a lot of critical thinking, that's the experience that will be needed by you for you to pass the strategic level case study. I am fully committed to ensure you get what is needed. We'll have a lot more things coming in for the SCS May 2026 compared to the OCS Feb 2026 because I'm allocating a lot more time. I had a full-time job. Now I will not go for the full-time job. Of course, I get involved with a lot of other companies around as executive director, but not full-time anything. So the entire purpose was to give more effort for the case study teaching. To give more effort for the case study teaching. So join with us. We are starting the classes on Saturday, right? How do you join with us? You know, you can send an email to info@nanaska.com. You can send an email to info@nanaska.com, or you have my email, you have my WhatsApp number. You can send me a WhatsApp. I can help you to register. And if you know anyone who is doing strategic level case study for May, please connect them to me. I will ensure they are given the right guidance and ensure you all pass. So industry is like, it's in my heart. 3D printing is like a topic that we discuss every week for last 20 years. 20 years, huh? This 3D printed clothing was done about 10, 15 years ago. If you look at the Apparel Association of Sri Lanka, they were talking about 3D printing in 2003. So we have been in the industry. We know how the 3D printing works. We have been working with the 3D printing manufacturers, which is our case study. So you are absolutely in the safe hand, and I'm fully committed to ensure you pass the case study this time. And I want you all to commit from your side as well. My name is Channa Gunawardhan. If there are any new, anyone who is entirely new here, just say new. You are not seeing me before in a class at all. You have seen me for the first time? Huh? No one like that. Anyone who had never seen me in a class before? You might have seen me in Colombo in a... No one. Are you entirely new? Daniel is entirely new. Sadhuli is entirely new. Roshan is entirely new. Oh, okay. Shanandas is entirely new. Okay, so there are some new people. So my name is Shanna Gunawardana. I was the CEO for Dankoto Kosile. Now I resigned from yesterday or today. I continue to work as the chairman of Litrogas. I'm on the SEMA Global Council in UK, so I get to see the logic well before of where, I mean, this time even the OCS syllabus has changed. OCS case study has changed. They have put critical thinking there. So trust me, strategic level will be at much more depth in the critical thinking part, much more depth in the judgmental decision making part. That's what we have mastered. That's what we have mastered. That's what we have been doing. I'm sure we can do it very well. So I had taken 35 minutes. Now, your questions. Any questions? Please do ask. Any questions? Please do ask. All good? If all good, let's meet on Saturday and ensure you pass the strategic level case study first time in May 2026 and never come for any SEMA classes thereafter, and ensure you go ahead in the journey as needed. Register today. See you on Saturday. Maybe I'll get Nisanga to come on Sunday itself if he's free, so he can talk about the 3D printing experience. We'll get the manufacturers to come online, and I will share about 3D printing a lot, because 20 years is a long time for us to be in touch in and out of the 3D printing. So guys, you have my mobile number. If you want to contact me on anything, send me a WhatsApp. Thank you very much for coming today. See you on Saturday. I will ensure you pass the case study first time in May 2026. The course will be much more structured with a lot of new features than May 2026. Those who have done MCS with me will tell, wow, this is much better than last time, because it will be better. I'm allocating a lot more hours. Take care, guys. I'm here if anyone wants to ask questions. Otherwise, take care. See you on Saturday.